So, on this episode of StrengthWOD, we're going to talk about overhead stability. It doesn't matter if you're a weightlifter, powerlifter, strongman, crossfitter, just fitness enthusiast. If you want to get more stability overhead, here's going to be 3 exercises that you can use with a barbell, a dumbbell, a kettlebell, with bands. Whatever piece of equipment you have, you'll have something to do for overhead stability. First one we're going to use is you have a barbell and bands. Open the bands up to your barbell, have some kettlebells or dumbbells hanging off the sides, like that. What we're going to do, there's 2 exercises we can do this. We can do this regular overhead presses, or we can do holds. Or what I like to do is I do an overhead press for a couple reps and then go into a walk with it. Just the build of the bands is going to make the bar and weights move all around, so your stability is all over the place. So if you're having an issue locking out overhead with a jerk or a snatch, this is a great exercise, great supplemental exercise to help that overhead stability. So, with those exercises, remember there's auxiliary lifts, secondary lifts, or even third lifts during your workout. So remember, for the overhead carries, I like to go about 20 yards down and back. For the presses, like you don't have to go super heavy, or you're not gonna be able to go super heavy, and keep the volume high, intensity low, because remember, we want to get those intrinsic muscles, all the muscles surrounding the shoulder girdle, activated and strong. And also with the bands, that's going to slowly get the tendons a little bit stronger, a little bit more dense, a little bit tighter, so when you're overhead, you're more controlled. So I'd like to stay between anywhere from 8 to 12 reps on the presses and at least 20 yards on the carries. All right, another variation we have at the gym here is we have the bamboo bar, which is very similar to a PVC pipe. So if you don't have a bamboo bar like this, but you want even more unstable control, the stability to be really bad overhead, really unstable, get a PVC pipe, probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, put the bands up to it like this, and you'll see as I'm pressing this, it's way harder, the stability is way out of control compared to just the bands with the barbell. Next, if you have a dumbbell or kettlebell, say you don't have bands, so you can't really do that, you can still do overhead presses and walks. That's going to help out a lot. But say you have a kettlebell, just have a kettlebell gym, no dumbbells. Here's another great exercise called a lunging press. You're in a lunge position, knees off the ground, a little more exaggerated than your split position from a jerk, but you're pressing from that position. The stability is out of control. The core activation from your hips all the way up to your shoulders, really from your knee, your whole body is activated, trying to stay tight so you don't move side to side or forward, back and forth as you're doing this. Another one I love to do with the kettlebell, which you can do with walks as well, is a bottom-up kettlebell hold. You definitely have to go lighter with this one. Like again, all these secondary auxiliary lifts, a lot of reps, high volume, building up that stability, building up all of the intrinsic muscles, everything small in the shoulder girdle, even your core. So with that, I'm gonna hold the handle, just like this. Get tight. And you can do carries like that, overhead lunges with that, and if you want to throw in something even harder, you can throw an Arnold press in with that. Alright, now, say you don't have a kettlebell, all you have is a dumbbell, you go to a Globo gym, you're in a college setting where we don't have a lot of kettlebells, things like that. You can do all the things we just did with the kettlebell, but with the dumbbell besides the bottom-up press. So, what I really like to do with my athletes is a kneeling press with the dumbbell, but also adding the Arnold press in with it. Changes up the whole dynamic of the movement, makes you have to activate everything more, stability's off, a lot more control, spatial awareness, everything like that. Alright, so those are just a couple exercises that you can throw into your program as auxiliary movements, secondary movements for overhead stability. Any of them work, all of them are great, but remember, keep the volume high, keep the load low, create that stable trunk, get all the intrinsic muscles firing, get better spatial awareness. Once you get all that, guys, I guarantee you your overhead's gonna be better. It doesn't matter if you're a CrossFitter doing thrusters, Olympic lifter doing snatches, clean and jerks, strongman doing log presses, or a power lifter just who wants to be a little more mobile and have more control of their overhead pressing when they're training. So remember, click the link below, subscribe, like, follow the podcast. All the links and stuff will be below. We'll put out another StrengthWOD every week with the podcast.